Hello, Lisa here. If you go to sleep at night and feel like you've done something, more than likely you have. We consider that you work for the army of the Lord or you're working for the army of the bad guys. Either way, I'm speaking to you. These theorems are based on Dolores Cannon's work, having read them, reading the Bible, and my own personal experiences. Now, this channel is specifically for people who know they are activated in the dream time. And they know they battle um, entities, entities in the spirit realm, entities in the space realm, and entities conjured by people who do witchcraft and warlockery and bring in entities from other dimensions, or they use elementals to craft new entities. Um, and just so anybody who cares about our planet, witchcraft coven people or regular people, when you use elementals to create or craft demonic entities or what you consider demonic, you're actually despoiling your planet, because elementals are very necessary for the conveyance of all planetary energy. They have specific roles to play, as do the animals. I just meditated before starting this camera, and I have connected with Green Tara and Lord Ganesh, and I was stunned by that. When there are entities who try to, just so you know, when you've gone through witchcraft and warlock relationships and you're activated and you're awakened to that stuff, you'll find that you're educated, right? And then you can't. I couldn't remember the name of Ganesh, and so somebody was trying to block me. Well, I looked it up, and I looked it up, and I'm going to read to you because it's very interesting, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about my day and how people in witchcraft covens are working to keep me from moving forward. And maybe they're keeping you from moving forward. Okay, and I'll go on here. But in heaven, Lord Ganesha will establish the predominance of gods on earth, that of people in the netherworld, that of serpents and anti-gods. Now, statues of Ganesh can be found in most Indian towns. His image is placed where new houses are to be built. He is honored at the start of a journey or a business venture, and poets traditionally invoke him at the start of a book. Are you starting to write something? Are you going to go on a journey? Ganesh is here for a reason, so I'm bringing it up to you guys. Anybody starting something, invoke him. And one of the things it said earlier, which seems to have disappeared, is that Ganesh, the remover of obstacles. Okay? So, I've had some interesting things happen here. I went to get my driver's license today, my Montana driver's license, and I'm going to bring up something political. I don't mean to trigger warning, but I've often wondered why our country, after 200 years, we have individual states' rights. Now, I went from Kansas to Alabama, and I got the gold star so I could travel and airplane fly and all that stuff. But here in Montana, because my New York City birth certificate does not have a fucking middle name on it. So when I divorced my first husband and I went back to my maiden name, I gave myself a middle name, the same middle name as my daughter, so we would share a name. Stupid girl. I should have been no middle name Piscini, okay? But I gave myself a middle name, which has caused all sorts of crisis with this fucking bullshit with my sister back in New York, but we're not going to go there. Anyway, because Anyway, so I come to Montana. We can't give you a Gold Star ID. I need that documentation. Well, fucking, I don't remember when I divorced that first guy. What? It was 1993. $152 I had to pay to the state of Missouri so I can show I have a fucking middle name. So I don't have a Montana driver's license yet. That's the kind of bullshit. Now, I left Kansas with a bin of stuff, and I went to Alabama, and that divorce decree was in that bed. It was in that plastic motherfucking bin. It's gone. Somebody knew. Somebody knew I would need that. So they come into your home. And don't tell me I'm 69 and I misplaced it. My daughter knows better. I had both divorce decrees because of the name change. Anyway, that's how it goes. And I hope if you're going through bullshit like small, petty break-in stuff, making you lose your earbuds so that you buy a new one, like the little nickel and dime bullshit goes on and on and on. That's what witchcraft coven people do, okay? And they'll come in and take your stuff and then sometimes replace it or put it in something different, which I went through all my paper stuff looking for, and I have a lot of paper, you know, I'm an artist. I'm a paper forensic. And I collect paper even. It's weird. At any rate, so, you know, we're quantumly entangled, and what the quantum entanglement little peanut gallery, the people in the back, don't get, that when we quantumly entangle, and we have the ability to be telepathic to each other, and the reason for telepathy is that confirms to me I know you guys up in space. We do shit together because you can't operate anything up in space without being telepathic. And that's just the way it is. So when you are my age and you connect with people and you can communicate with them without saying words, you're really doing it, okay? Don't discredit it. That's a real bona fide skill, ability, and you're doing it. So do it. Sometimes the bad guys, when they play in your fucking energy, now I know most of you who watch me have the penile parts. Some women watch me. But for women, folks, when they can put your attachments into your womanly space, they draw your energy, especially you divine feminines. And if you're not awakened, you're not going to know this is happening to you, okay? But when you do awaken, trust me, you're going to know everything about every person who ever touched your sacral energy. You'll even know the size of their penile part. Anyway, I can't believe some of the things I've been through. And I'm out here telling you folks so that if you have experiences, you don't run to the doctor for everything. If you've been involved in witchcraft and warlockery, don't run to the doctor for everything. Now, I suffered what I thought was sciatic nerve pain. I had it so bad, I gained weight. I used to weigh 223 pounds. I once I was awakened, it was like, you know, everything, boom, Spirit says, no, we're doing this, we're going to exercise, yada, yada, yada. Some of you actually experienced it because, what's her name, up there in Canada, put CCTV cameras in my home. And they made money off of me. You're going to pay me. You are going to pay me, lady. And Spirit said today, the 3 ladies who torture me the most are going to end up looking like husks at the end of the day. And they are going to pass away before I do, which I find very interesting. At any rate, that's because they're playing in the sacral energy of somebody they shouldn't. And you really shouldn't play in anybody's energy, right? You go to school, you get educated, and you work. You learn how to work. You work your craft. You either do it and you get involved and get to know people and you talk and you know, when you fall down and you just dust yourself off and do it again. You try and you do it again but differently. You don't do it the same way over and over again. And that's what a lot of witchcraft people do, because they do their rituals, they think it works, and they think they're empowered. Okay? They're delusional, because that power is just, it's not real power. Okay? Yes, they can make you fall down. Yes, they can make your elbows and your knees swell up. Please, people, if you've been in a relationship with somebody who's done witchcraft, a lot of your physical ailments are witchcraft ailments. Now, when they say the spells, all you have to do is ask Michael and God and talk to the angels. What do I say to dispel this? Michael loves to tell you words. Okay? They all do. Gabriel, Hamiel. Metatron likes to stay quiet because he's more of a power guy. But they like to tell you the words, and they'll tell you all these little embellished, fine little poetry type words. It's fun. But then they'll tell you, just say this, simple. And it depends like what they're doing out there. Because you have to remember, angels are mighty warriors, okay? And then when you start doing the physical stuff, and then all of a sudden you start moving and doing something weird, that's because the angels are showing you different kind of movements, okay? And they can tap in and make you move a certain way. And they showed me how that's done. And they have a technology. And yes, we are manipulated by space. I recently watched Austin, the autistic mystic. Sometimes he's really spot on, but I think he's been manipulated by energies beyond his control, because he said something about that space aliens and then the women one. And yes, there are space women aliens, Austin, if you happen to stumble across me, and they do very strange things. And I've actually gotten to see, sometimes God just I psychically remote view things. And we were talking to somebody, and they got bound up. Like, they do sex rituals, okay? And this gal put a pig mask on her face, and then she was bound to a chair, right? Sex magic. And then the people left her. They left her, but things came out of her nipples and went down and chewed off the bindings. So there are frickin' women alien here, okay? And I know, Lisa, you should just write for science fiction, and maybe I should, but I saw that. You're going to discredit my remote viewing? I won't name the person, but damn, I gotta say, I hope things don't come out of me at night. That's all I gotta say. At any rate, so they do things to you, and right now, I actually had mushrooms stolen from my apartment. I am going to go to the sheriff and talk about there's people in this apartment building who have access to my home. 2 of my teacups are missing. They did something that really upset me with my champagne flutes. And when I unpacked buckets last night, that's all I did was yesterday. But here's the notice for the collective. All of you who are going through really hard times, and I don't know if you're hooked up to me because it's the same people effing with you, and I hope for your sakes it's not, because they've been perniciously evil, and I know the one guy who funds this shit has a shit ton of money, and that's pretty difficult to, he pays people to fuck with your electronics. Okay, here's another thing that happened. So today, yesterday, my phone was set up on California time. I didn't change my phone. Isn't it supposed to be automatic wherever you are? And then, so I figured it out, cleared it out, and then today, my computer's set up on California time. Fuck you, Californians. I'm not there. Leave me alone. Anyway, that's They can get into your electronics. They think they're better than. And for those of you, some of you that I know I reach out to, you have big fucking businesses and big concerns. So one of the things that's been coming up is pay attention to the details, especially in your paperwork, okay? And contracts, new agreements, new partnerships, new buildings. You're going to have a new building built. Look at all the paperwork and go through the details and call on Ganesh, okay? Now, I believe in God, and Jesus is my Savior. He's the only sacrifice that ever needed to be made, and He gave His life for me and you. But we do have the right to call on other deities. They're here for our usage, okay? And I'm sorry if this F's up you religionals. I'm not trying to be triggery, but they're there for those of us who work in the dream time, because they are our comrades in space. Okay, now that message is out there. So don't forget to pay attention to details. Now I pulled cards last night for a specific person, but Spirit said to share some of this. So last night's word was dualism. We have the card of the giraffe was mixed in with my Mists of Avalon cards, so I'm going with it. The giraffe is from a different region in space. They are very noble, gracious, and giving, and they see things from a higher perspective. Okay? So this is like, take a look at the higher. If you're stuck somewhere, look at the bigger picture, whatever your situation is. This was the card I got for me, but they wanted to share. Letting go. This is the Mists of Avalon marker of letting go. Here's the example. It took me a little bit, and this was a really effed up day. I went to the AAA office first to get my Missouri driver's license. As soon as I stepped out of the car, I kind of slipped because it was icy. Fortunately, I held on to the car door, and I let myself down slowly, but I had to get up on my hands and knees and get up. And I keep a wooden cane in there that my dad had carved, and I used it to kind of skate my way to the place. And AAA said, we can't give you this birth certificate. The emblem isn't raised. Well, if you felt it, it was raised, but it's been stored for very many years, for over 15 or 20 years. So the impression was flattened, and they would not issue me a driver's license. So I said, okay, and I went down to the MVD or whatever you call it, and once again, they needed my divorce decree to show my middle name. So today was a fail, and I was very angry, okay? So letting go. I had to let go and transmute the energy of anger. And when you have people who've been effing with you day in and day out, and they do it, and they move this, move that, make you fall this, make this not work, and it goes on and on and on for over 15 years, it's hard to let that anger builds up. And you have every effing right to be angry, but you have to let it go. What makes me angry? My ex, my recent ex, is living in a home, a nice home that he won't repair. And I have to start all over. I have to work my fucking ass to start over. I have to let it go. So that's the hard lesson. But here's on the positive note. Believe in the impossible. Blue moon. That's come up for me more than once, so if it's for me, it's for you. And don't let pride get in your way. Full moon in Leo. And undiscovering treasure. Okay, beneath all the turmoil, the angst, and the crap, somewhere out of it, treasure's going to come. I got to believe that because Lord Ganesha is here today. Trust me. Now, this is for the tree people. Tree people has been coming up in my card pulls, so I guess I need to talk to tree people. And the tree card we pulled last night was gorse. Furzy gorse, I think that's how you say it. And it's what, number 17. I'm going to read. It's a tree of abundance. So, abundance is coming, okay? I'm claiming that. Okay, so the totems are the honeybee and the magpie. The deities are Lug and Persephone, and the letter is O, and the class of the card is chieftain. Keywords: fulfillment and abundance, sweetness, hope, persistence links the inner and outer worlds, gathering together what you need to ensure progress. The gorse is all about fulfillment and abundance. We are encouraged to share what we have with each other and to practice sweetness in our lives. The day before the spring equinox is often called the day of the gorse. Persephone returns to her mother Demeter, and new growth begins a whole new cycle. The gorse, or furze, continually bloom with bright golden yellow flowers and represents hopefulness. This plant differs from broom in that it has sharp thorns. It is a persistent bush that can grow almost anywhere. Thus, our attitude of gratitude and appreciation can be applied to any situation as well. Its connection to the god La and his bright light of inspiration brings a fire aspect to this ogum. In a reading, it represents abundance. Its hallmark is generosity. You are encouraged to share what you have with others. Giving is the best way to receive, and I could go on, but you get the meaning. So, here I am. This is the best I can give. I try to give my knowledge. I know a lot of people don't like it. Maybe the world's not ready for it. But I'm doing what I'm told. So, there was some messages they wanted to pass along. Just remember, if you're up in the dream time, know you're always being remote viewed by somebody here down on planet Earth. Some people can do it with mirrors and bowls of water. Some people just have fucking cameras in your space, okay? When you open up your laptop and it's got a camera, I usually put a sticker on my stuff, but, know that you're being viewed. There's a Lyrian. The Lyrian that's in Colorado. June 5th of this coming year. Was it this coming year, or was it had to do with... Is this about this coming year? It's this coming... June 5th, this coming year. There's big change coming. They want... And, this was given out by that guy's... Zach is his name on Phoenix Rising. This is called Dare to Dance. So, something about the Lyrian in Colorado, June 5th, Dare to Dance. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe it means something for you. Lady Chindi, Lady Chindi and the Lord Shiva have been having a sparring conflict with a dark angel. And I don't know if anybody's involved in that fighting. They're telling you to cleanse. Do some cleansing if you know what that's about. Oh, my nose is itching. And to all the women who stand up and fight the good fight and who don't mind voicing out for what is right, they're telling us to bask. Does this go with this? Should I show that? Something's coming home. There's something coming home. Those are the words I'm supposed to say. And then I'll just show these real quick. These are from last night. The moose and wisdom and the coyote were the two animals that came out. I'll read them both to you. Coyote, revealer of truth. Don't take things too seriously. Once again, that's the next message, right? Let it go. Make time to play. Great wisdom comes from laughing at your own folly. Look out for the traps and tricks of life and learn from them. And then the moose is wisdom. Let your head and mind reach to the stars. That's this is for other strong women out there. The Odell was a woman who gave her life. She stood, it was before guns and stuff, so she stood in the way of a spear thrust and they killed her and it ended a clan war, was what I'm told. So for anybody who stands in the line of fire, this is meant for you. Let your head and mind reach the stars, yet keep your feet grounded on the earth. Listen to the ancient wisdom in your soul. The ancestors speak. Through you, you know much. So we have wisdom, and that also goes with the giraffe, because the giraffe is the same sort of thing. And then it's like the revealer of truth is going to show up. And when truth, I just get the feeling when truth does out in this situation for a lot of people, it's going to be quite stunning. Not stunning in a good way. So laugh. You're going to have to laugh some sad things off, okay? And learn how to forgive, let go, and then have the time, energy to bask and play. I hope this helps somebody today. And let's see. Did you guys want me to pull any more cards? No, they want me to leave it at that. So here I am, right? The numbers show nobody watches me, but yet a lot of people watch me. I hear other tarot readers complain about the analytics. There's words you can say, there's words you can't say. I don't even look those up. It's been interesting for me since I've unpacked everything I have left out of life that I've collected over time, and I was very angry. 2 bins are missing, and if you ever move, I didn't do this, so this is from experience. Make sure you photograph everything and you have an itinerary of how many boxes you have, and I thought I could trust. And I guess today's day and age, back in the day, you could trust. But I never had stuff shipped before, and I didn't think about it, and I'm missing 2 bins of stuff. And then in here I found an empty box within my bin where a beautiful silver oil lamp, the base was silver and it had an unusual straight chimney, is gone. So my stuff has been ransacked and gone through. My divorce papers were taken. And of course they're nickel and diming me. And so that's how my life goes. Hopefully before Christmas or end of Christmas. The 27th, I have heard from Spirit, December 27th is the end for certain people. They cannot do anything more to chosen ones, certain chosen ones. Okay, so if you're on my timeline, and I hope and pray, and then I personally did something kind of sneaky, and hopefully it's not a negative thing. I didn't. It's just like a tactile sense thing that if somebody does something with something, this whole thing in the dream time where we loop will end. Okay, and you might not hear. Like I gave some people my ears. We can do that, by the way. If you have a talent and you trust and like the people, certain people, you can give them your eyes and they can see what you see, or you can give them your ears and they'll hear what you hear. And maybe you can even get the gift of talking. I don't know. I haven't asked that question. And always ask God if you can do these things, okay? I gave people my ears. So people are hearing stuff like I hear stuff. And I think has it been very enlightening for them? I think it's been enlightening for some people that, you know, these are people who will be on my side eventually and say, no, she's not fucking crazy. I heard this shit. You know, and so there it is. You can share your certain abilities and talents. You can't share everything, but you can share certain things that you're quantumly entangled with because the energy goes back and forth, people, you know? So, and please note to some of these people that I connect with, I'm not interested in your life, okay? I never look in, unless spirit were to tell me you were in trouble, then I would be able to probably see and swoop in and do whatever I had to do. And that's how it works, okay? I let God direct me, okay? And then I give gratitude. And right now I'm in heavy prayer because this has been going on for very, very many years in my lifetime. And I'm ready to be free. And you probably are too. Anyway, the states, I wanted to say states' rights. So in Alabama, I got my gold star as Lisa A. Pacini, but in Montana, I can't. And I wonder, after 200 years of a country, 200 plus years, why we all, as states, things like driver's license and birth certificates and all that kind of information, shouldn't that be standardized by state? I think it should be. Because why should I really have had to pay $152 to prove what I already did in 1993? You know, so I don't get states' rights, and I think that needs to change. I don't know if anybody agrees with me, and I'm not going to do it. But I'm not going to go out there and beat a drum about it because politics really isn't my thing. It's just sometimes God gets interested in that stuff, but you know, it's like if I could get my name in Alabama, why can't I do it here? I just don't understand. Anyway, have a wonderful Christmas. If I don't get out here, I will be working my little tailbone off. So I'll try to be a good, upstanding spiritual citizen. Now remember, out there's a lot of shysters. There's a lot of shyster tarot people who are funded by people who pay for Google and YouTube to punch up the numbers. Please know this to be true. So don't listen to everything. And I personally would not give your astrology information away to anybody. I did that once and then got extremely attacked in the worst way. So be well, everybody. And remember, I think a lot of you are amazing. And I absolutely love you. Bye now.